Welcome everybody to this Elite Dangerous video. I'm your host, BOSSAGE. In-game name is Commander BOSSAGE, and I'm with
Kenjuro332, Commander Ken.
So today's video gonna be about the squadron, what it's like to be within the squadron, and Odyssey mainly. Ken has done a lot within Odyssey. It's more Odyssey focused than me. I'm currently getting a carrier, taking a lot longer than it should do, but we'll see where this video leads. This is the first time we've done something like this, a collaboration. This is currently the third attempt at doing it, but yeah. So we're part of the United Systems Corporation. I say squadron, but it's more like a family, I'd say. But in any time, can if got any comments? But yeah, we help each other. There's people like Ken who vast knowledge in Odyssey. There's others that specialise in the engineering aspect, and some that even take engineering to a level which, to be honest, astounds me every time they say something about engineering. Like I'll know like to do this, but they'll know it straight off the bat. They'll know even who to go to, what to do, what effects that particular upgrade will do, even without looking it up. So with all the bugs and that are going on in Odyssey, that some have been fixing that, how enjoyable is Odyssey to play, Ken?
For somebody like me who has played a lot of first-person shooters throughout my life, I was really looking forward to gaining my space legs, as they call it. Since Odysseys came out, I have ventured through the universe, destroying ground settlements. Basically, I focus on wiping everybody who lives in them out completely, and then looting them until my heart's content. I have a tier 5 Dominator suit, tier 4 Mav suit, a lot of tier 3 weapons that I use, and I think that in its current state, Odyssey is pretty enjoyable. Although I do know that there's a lot of complications depending on the rig that you run, I still highly suggest it.
Although I do run Elite Dangerous through Odyssey, I don't select anything else in the login screen. I remain space-based, just because my goal at the minute is a carrier, which is obviously in space. And I didn't have any good experience with Odyssey when I first started using it. It was lagging, it was crashing my computer. And actually within the squadron itself there was a dip in players. I don't know if you noticed that, Ken, there weren't as many people playing, just because Odyssey had so much hype and then it had all them problems. The squadron did take a bit of a hit, but overall I hear the guys talk about Odyssey all the time, so like, don't be put off by it. I mean, I hear Ken all the time talk about Odyssey, and you seem to have a blast on it.
Oh yeah,
That'd be a
I definitely have.
So yeah, just jump in any time, Ken. So what's like to go about Odyssey? What would your like go-to ship be, Ken?
Well, as you can see on screen, I like flying an Asp Explorer, the medium ship. It's good for landing in settlements or landing outside of them. It's just my go-to. It's personal preference. Everybody I play with has their own ships that they go to. They love flying. This just happens to be mine. I know a lot of people don't really care for it, but it was my first jump ship, and it gets 64 light years jumps, so I'm really happy with it, especially when I'm hopping around from settlement to settlement and in and out of different systems collecting the Odyssey materials for upgrades. It's very useful. Something with a good jump range is pretty important. Also, every week they have a tick that happens. When that tick happens, you can go to random stations, hit the Pioneer Supply Store, and you can find tier 3 weapons. Sometimes they'll already have engineering on them, and you can also find up to tier 3 suits. And sometimes they will also have engineering on them. So I believe it's on Thursdays. It's a good idea to hop around from station to station and check out what the stores have. You might find a goodie in there that you didn't expect.
I can relate to that with like people not liking the ship and that. My go-to ship is a Mamba. A lot of I wouldn't necessarily say hate, because hate's a strong word, but I think with the Mamba, you either love it or you hate it. It's a bit like Marmite. And there's also that way you either go for the Further Lance or the Mamba. I think there's that sort of like atmosphere around it. So I use the Mamba for everything. Even when I was trying out Odyssey, I'll be using the Mamba. I think me and you actually did a mission together, Ken, bit back on Odyssey. And I was trying to shoot people while you was raiding the base. I think, don't know if you remember that. It was quite a bit back. But yeah, like I say, all the details for the squadron are in the description in the video. Any help whatsoever, there's links to our webpage down below as well. We have other tools to help you. I mean, what do you find like the best thing about in a squadron such as the USC, Ken?
Well, when I first joined the USC, I had about 300,000 credits, and I was flying a Cobra. Since joining the squadron just over a year ago, I now have a carrier. I also have a slew of ships, some engineered, some not. Some are just project ships. But I've found since joining the squadron that credits are not a problem. The real hurdle is the engineering on the ships and the willingness to grind for those materials. Now, for somebody like me, that can be a bit much from time to time, but I just go out when I feel like it, and when I get tired of it, I go do something else. I found that really works for me.
Yeah, I mean, what works for me is I'll go do the grinding, like fill all like my stores up with all the materials, if that's the right terminology, until I can't collect any more, and then I'll just do a massive spending spree on materials. A bit of advice I would give to like new players where it comes to engineering would be, don't like overdo it. So like with me at the minute I've got 19 ships, which is great, but they're not all engineered. And like, Inaro is good to have, it's brilliant. But I look down it and it's like, yeah, I've only slightly engineered that one, and it sort of phases me. My advice would be, unless you're one who likes a challenge and doesn't easily get like blown away and phased by things, pick a ship, engineer it, and then move on to a different one. I mean, how many ships do you engineer at a time, or do you just like focus on one, Ken?
Oh, I actually try to set a target for myself. My first time engineering anything, it was this Asp Explorer that you see. I needed a jump ship, something that had long range, so I could get around quickly. And once I got this, then I focused on a combat ship, something that had some sustainability and some firepower. Once I had that mostly completed, I actually just kind of been focusing on the Odyssey stuff again now. So I have a fighter, and I have a jump ship, and I also have about 7 ships that are currently parked on my carrier that are project ships, we'll call them, whenever I get around to messing with it. But that's just something for the future, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's like me, I've got my target's to get a carrier, but I'll move all of my ships. Reason I focus on my Mamba is because it's what I use the most, but I am easily sidetracked. So like, I've got 3 Mambas, and as soon as I finished one, or getting there, I was like, well, while doing that, would this work? Would that work? So then, like, I bought another one and started. So you can find yourself with multiple ships that at different stages of engineering, which can be alright if you're somebody who likes having different projects, but sometimes it does get a bit daunting, especially like farming. That is a ball ache. I don't think anybody enjoys that. I mean, do you enjoy farming, Ken?
That's going to be a big no for me. Like I said, I pick a target and I go for it. So, like with the Odyssey engineering, I find an upgrade I want for my suit, and then I go out and I farm and grind until I get those materials. Once I get it, then I take a break from it for a while. I found that's what works best for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some people out there who just farm what they need when they need, but if you're in mission farming, if you do it until you can't do it anymore, and then you buy a ship and you, like, say if I bought another Corvette and I really wanted to eagerly do some engineering on it, if I did the technique of farming until I can't farm anymore, then I'm going to have stuff left over. But if you just farm as and when you need it, I would say it's a longer route to take. But yeah, going back to like money, like Ken mentions, money is not an issue whatsoever. Since I've joined the USA, I mean, I'm currently on 3.5 billion, and since joining, having Elite Dangerous, I've spent loads, and I'm still at quite a healthy target. So just to put like that 3.5 billion into perspective, I've got 19 ships, and they range from an Imperial Eagle all the way up to the most expensive ships in the game. So I would fully advise joining the USC. It's the squadron that has the most time for its players. There's somebody always on. We've got our own Discord website and YouTube channel, as well as members of the squadron like me who's got their own YouTube channel. I'm quite, like, I'd say quite unique on YouTube, whereas most YouTubers I've come across will focus on a particular thing. I've got different sections in my channel, one being Elite Dangerous, and not only will I promote myself and like what I do on Elite Dangerous gameplay videos, there's also videos like this where we talk about Odyssey, and we'll promote the squadron. The squadron is probably the only squadron that is probably out there, as in terms of it's a squadron for the players. So there's a lot of, it's not just one person for itself, everybody will help each other. We have competitions sometimes within the squadron. Like there was a, Ken, I don't know if you was part of it, but do you remember when there was, I won't mention his name just in case you don't want to be mentioned on YouTube, but there's a squadron member who was getting their Corvette, and the stake was 1 billion credits if you managed to stop him reaching the necessary requirement. I don't know if you remember that, Ken?
Was that race?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing of it.
Yeah. So, whoever won, if whoever managed to stop this squadron member from getting to the point where he could get the Corvette, then they won 1 billion credits. So 1 billion credits in any commander's pocket is still 1 billion credits. So there's stuff like that. We have drunk mining nights, which are fun. You ever try and pilot a spaceship when you're drinking? That is quite an achievement, depending on how much alcohol you have. You've done some of them, haven't you, Ken?
Yeah, I've done some drunk mining in the past. Also done some heavily intoxicated ground wars.
What the ground was like, Ken, both when you're drunk and you're not drunk?
Well, I mean, for me, I have a good time playing either way. But, I mean, the ground wars basically, like, capture the flag, in a sense, and King of the Hill combined. So, as long as you stay on task, it's pretty easy to win them. I mean, I've been in, I believe, over 130 ground conflicts, ranging from low to high, and I have yet to lose one, still.
And how intoxicated was you while doing these ground wars, Ken?
Oh, it's kind of hard to gauge that, but I'd say at least a good fifth of vodka in.
So, as you can tell, the squadron itself is probably one of the best out there, to be fair. There are serious aspects to it. We have got rules and that. But it's mainly about just like being a mature adult, basically. So like on the Discord channels, like there's no harassment, there's no talk about politics because that can get heated. So it's very it's very friendly, isn't it, Ken? There's and it's not just the squadron itself. We are linked with loads of other squadrons. We've got probably about at least 10 allies, so our reach is vast on Elite Dangerous. So do you talk us through a bit of what you're doing, Ken, please?
What's that?
Do you talk us through a bit what you're doing?
Well, I just took off from my carrier, and I'm about to head out of the system to go raid a ground base. So
I'm gonna say like first hand a bit about what Odyssey's about.
now I did upgrade my rig twice since Odyssey came out. So in order to get it to run just the way it is now, so results may vary.
When we get there, I'll let Ken do most of the talking, just because he is a hell of a lot more Odyssey based than me. But yeah, just there's always somebody on hand. If you choose to join the squadron, there's always somebody about. We've got somebody from like every part of the world. It's fair to say it can. And you'll meet friends for life basically on it. Like there's somebody on part of the squadron and like 20-minute walk from me, which is like unbelievable. And then you've got like Ken, who lives all the way in America. So like no matter where you're from, if you want a hand, there is somebody there. There's been times where I've done engineering but wanted to basically use somebody's taxi. Sorry, their carrier as a taxi, and they've had no issue with that. Don't want anything in for the trouble. Although I did pay for it, I did get some fuel for their carrier. This is actually going to be interesting for me because I've not actually seen this.
Right. So once I got into system, I searched for a ground base that has something that I think I might want in it. This is also an anarchy system. Found that when going into anarchy systems, if I kill everybody in the settlement, I don't get any notoriety, which is a very painful thing to get rid of. But this is, like I said, this system is an anarchy, so I shouldn't incur any fines or notoriety when I come to go do what I'm about to do in this settlement.
So as we're travelling to Ken's destination, so just to try and like put it into perspective how massive this squadron is. So we have squadrons that are like dedicated fleet carriers. So, for instance, we've got one that's got well, we've got a few that are the purpose are for operations. Got another one that is anti-Xena. Got one that's dedicated for bounty hunting. It's massive. Does y'all carrier have a purpose, Ken, or is it just like personal use?
Um, it sells mining supplies because of the junk mining night that we had a while back. I decided to start selling mining supplies on it. Mainly, it's just kind of sits around right now. I mean, I'll use it to transport people in the system if we gain new members and they're not close enough and I don't have the ability to get here on their own or in a timely fashion. I decided that I filled up its fuel tank some for some decent range jumps.
That's like like when you join the squadron, it's not like a guaranteed thing. You have to use your fleet carrier to do operations. You can have it purely for your own use. Obviously, at the end of the day, you're your own person and that. The squadron is like a family, so like when I get my carrier, I was just going to be like, I will help other squadron members out. Um, have you got...
As you can,
Sorry, go
what's
on.
that? No, I was gonna say, as you can see, I have a few different suits and a few different setup loadouts depending on what I'm doing. Which just happens to be my rate. I'm rating bases. Just want to load. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, as you can see, I have extra backpack capacity, which is very useful for looting, increased sprint duration, so I can run away further, and faster shield regen, because if my shield gets popped, I want it to come back up as fast as possible. Let's see. Then I have this one is one I use when I'm doing ground activities also. I prefer plasma weapons myself. I mean, each weapon has its own utilization, but the plasma is just something I like in particular. I do have Artemis suit, but I'm not really much of an explorer, so I don't really use it. And I do not have night vision, so kind of wandering around on the dark side of the planet. Doesn't look like the settlement's powered on. Oh, maybe it is. this light's out. Okay. Oh no, the power is out here. Oh, did not see that coming. Okay. Wonder if I got a power regulator on my ship. We'll just go ahead and see what's here.
So I think actually the last time I did this was probably when I did the mission with you ages ago.
Yeah. Yeah, when I loot, I'm very particular about what I pick up. I actually need to trade down some of my materials because I am running out of space. What's the charge for it? Okay. There's some goodies in there. Nope, nothing good. I was hoping that there would be people here. As you can see, I don't have the necessary clearance to get through this door, so that's when we overcharge it.
As you can see, clearance is never an issue.
The graphene is something that you use for upgrading your suits, and so I always make sure I pick that up. Not useful. Don't need that. Yeah, and as you can see, if I had somebody with me here, there would be a lot of opportunity for them to pick up some materials, because I'm leaving a lot of stuff behind. Base is good stuff.
So that stuff you're leaving behind, Ken, would that be any good for anybody else?
Yes, actually. I just have so much of it that I don't really need it right now. But this epoxy resin is very useful material. I just have so much of it, I don't bother picking it up.
Literally nobody about, is there?
No, apparently this space was powered down at some point, so I have to. You could, if I had a power regulator, I could turn the power back on if I wanted to. But but power regulators are fairly important use for upgrading your suits also. So I tend to hang on to those. And a lot of the stuff you could pick up and sell for money if you were so inclined. Or like the super base is useful, I believe, in engineering weapons. And these are energy cells, so I can, as long as I pick those up, I can keep my suit charged. Uh, when I go back to my ship, you'll see when I go to get on that my ship is already packed full of stuff. So I'll have to shuffle some inventory around to keep the stuff that I really want. Chances are this place is going to have a security clearance because it's a lab. So we'll just overload it. Oh, did I already come in here? Oh, already been in there. Okay. I believe that's everything here. Boxes.
I should really try and get into Odyssey a bit more.
Oh, I'd be happy to take you out. Ionized gas is useful for engineering weapons. So I'll take that.
Also, as a bit of a side note, like I was saying, we have members who are, are I would say, expert at engineering. If there is a use for engineering, so like combat ship engineering for combat, even if you want that role, we have people who can think of loads of other uses. Like we've got ships within the squadron that are like Odyssey based, so they're designed and engineered for attacking settlements, which obviously wasn't a thing prior to Odyssey. Um,
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.
So would you say that was like a quite easy assault to do compared to some others?
Well, with there being no people and the power out here, the only thing that you're, oh, okay, I guess I don't have to dump anything. The only thing you really have to contend with is keeping your suit charged. But there's usually battery packs you could find hanging on the walls, so that's not too bad. I'm actually gonna take off from here and see if I can find some place that's actually populated. That's on here. That place. It's not too far away. Hopefully I can find a place that actually has some people so I can demonstrate how I run through it.
How long have you been playing Elite Dangerous for, Ken, now?
Well, I originally started playing on the Xbox One probably about 3 years ago, and I did the classic mistake. I flew without a rebuy, which turned me away from the game for a while. So about a year and a year and a half ago, I decided to build a PC, and I wanted to find something fun to play, so I ended up downloading Elite Dangerous again.
I think this thing... Sorry, go on.
And I actually met up with this squadron, the USC, approximately 2 weeks after I bought the game. I was just flying around by myself, doing the lonely space thing, nobody to talk to, just running from station to station, and I actually got linked up with the squadron through a Facebook page. And I got an invite, somebody reached out to me, and I followed the steps, so I became a member. Started out as a cadet with basic knowledge of the game, and fast forward a little over a year, and now I have information on Guardian sites and Odyssey, a lot of experience in Odyssey, some engineered ships. I made a lot of good friends in the time I've been playing with them too. Also done giveaway contests. When Odyssey first came out, I actually gave away 2 copies of Odyssey to people, ran small contests. And that's one thing about the squadron that I like too, is that from time to time they'll issue a challenge, or there'll be some type of contest with a chance to win something, not just congratulations, something tangible. I like that a lot.
I think it might be like worth noting, Ken mentioning about like starting off as cadet. We haven't got a command structure as such, that the captain and like the command structure is there is a command structure, but there isn't a command structure, sir. Like, the height, your rank within the command structure does not entitle you to boss anybody about or anything like that. It's clearly just is a reflection on your knowledge and your experience within the game. And like your certain roles as well. You do so like, but it's mainly on your experience. So like what is like the highest like rank within the squadron? Is it fleet commander? Ken.
I believe so. I actually made it up from cadet to being a captain. There's only, I think, 2 or 3 roles above me now.
So yeah. So it's basically just, you can think of it as like a congratulations sort of thing. So like the higher up you are, it just means like the more knowledgeable you are. Really, that's all it is. It's more fun, would you say, Ken? Rather than there's no like power or anything behind it. It's not like if somebody in a captain position, they can't boss a cadet about. It's nothing like that. So
Yeah, I mean, the captain role that I have is mainly due to my activity and my knowledge in the game, um, my willingness to help other people out in game with things that they're doing. Like, I don't have, it's not an authority figure position where like I'm the boss of anybody. Is this system powered? This is powered down too? Oh boy. Well, I'm not even gonna bother landing here. There's no lights on. I need data, so I'm not gonna find data to shut down site. Alright. Away we go.
so yeah, so it's just like it really is. The squadron is a squadron for the players, isn't it? It's just a great squadron to be in.
I'm gonna go check out the station. See if they got any interesting gear there. Well, there I might enlist in a ground war. Since the system's in conflict right now.
How come can your user interface is like different colour? Because I thought you could only like have it in like the blue. Is it the blue or the orange?
Yeah. I actually downloaded a program that allows me to change my HUD colors. Let's see. Like I can make it lighter by pushing a button, or I can make it darker. A little red and blue. I like the red and blue. It reminds me of back in the day. Ooh, inch-dip in. Now this ship doesn't have any weapons on it at all, so I will be trying to escape the interdiction. Because it is stripped down for jumping.
So, like, if anybody's got any experience with interdictions, you'll know that it'll go one of two ways. Either it'll be a harmless scan and you'll get left alone, or somebody will try and blow you up. Which is sometimes can actually be fun if you're like hunting somebody. They can, because obviously they're an NPC, there is a chance for them to actually interdict you. I've had it happen to me where I've been after targets and it's like, well, you've saved me the leg work.
Also, I run an auto dock on this ship because when I'm jumping around from place to place, I get tired of manually landing, so I put auto dock on here so I could just sit and watch. Alright, now I'm gonna embark from my ship and go to see what they have in the station, and I may enlist in a ground war.
I think I've only like got out my ship like less than 5 times. But I don't know if you still find it like sort of inspiring. Every time you get out your ship, it's like, wow. It sort of does give you a true aspect of how big these ships are.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're large. It's not like parking your ship on the ground and then jumping on top of it and walking around like on your ship. It's an experience, especially if you have one of the large ships. Yeah, they just have tier 1s here. Nothing fancy. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to enlist in a ground war here. I don't think they're going to have the table for it. They have a bar. No. Because it would typically be right there, around here. Okay. solution to that. But yeah, this is my ASP Explorer.
Have you got any of the big three just to have a look how big they are in a hangar?
In my fleet carrier, I have an Anaconda. I could jump back and check it out real quick.
So, like, just as a reminder, really, if you want any help or anything with Elite Dangerous, drop a comment in the description. Please subscribe, like the video. All your support to my channel would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, any help or if you want to get involved with the squadron, join the squadron, get in touch via YouTube, drop a comment in the comment section, and we'll get you started on becoming a member.
This is the infamous witch space. Yeah. We'll go to my carrier. I'll pull out the Anaconda so you can get an idea of the scale of it. And then I'm going to have to go break away from this and go get some lunch.
Yeah.
It's about that time.
some of the views on this game just blow me away.
Yeah, it's nothing like coming home to your very own carrier. You can see this is all the ships I currently own right now. You saw how big the Asp Explorer was when I was on foot next to it.
You mean that's no small thing on its own, is it?
No, it's a medium ship. It's pretty large. It's pretty big. But this is one of the big ships, one of the large ships, and this is an example of the scale of them. Pretty big.
I mean, that thing is huge.
Yeah, now if I were to actually land this on a planet, I could jump and walk around on top of it. But since we're in space with grav boots on, there's no jumping. And these are the feet to hold it up when it lands, and they're bigger than I am. Like 1 foot is bigger than me.
You do not want to get squashed by that thing.
Yeah. Definitely not.
Nice colour, Ken.
Oh, thanks.
And that is like one of the smallest of the big three, isn't it?
I believe so. I don't have the other ones. I haven't finished that grind. Oh my.
I'll have to do
But
that, you know,
it's
because I've got 2 Anacondas, a Corvette and a cutter. I'll have to take the cutter and the Corvette and like have a look how big they are.
yeah, sounds like a good idea.
So yeah, I think it's about time to like round this video up, so I hope everybody enjoyed this stream. Like I say, if you want to get in touch or have got any questions, please drop them in the comment section. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There's something on the channel for everybody. Anything you want to end with, Ken?
No, I mean, everybody's welcome to join the USC. I look forward to meeting new squad members, and as I said, I'm real Odyssey focused, so ground combat and material gathering, things of that nature. If you join up, my commander name is Kenjuro332. Send me a message or see me in chat. I'll be definitely glad to help you out with something.
So, yeah, again, thank you for you, Ken, for joining, and thank you everybody for watching.